Thanks for taking the time to chat today. I really appreciate
My pleasure.
it. Where
What
are you?
part of Canada are you in?
I'm in Montreal.
Oh, last time I was there, I got sick.
How'd you get sick? What happened?
I was on a bus tour and I had 102 temperature. It was the winter time.
Okay. Oh, well,
I did the show, with the temperature, but actually, I actually felt better after the show because I guess I sweated it out.
right. Yeah. Well, that's usually what happens. If you sweat out a cold or a fever, you'll feel better.
Yeah, you had a big snowstorm. It was a while ago.
Yeah. Well, I remember meeting you at the Metropolis when you were here for the Bad Boys of Kiss tour.
I got to get back to Canada soon, but this pandemic has screwed up everything.
Yeah. This has been a really, really strange time to be living through, man.
I hope things get back to normal soon.
Yeah, me too. What part of the world are you calling from?
Well, I recently moved back to the East Coast from California. I'm living in New Jersey now.
Oh, nice. How are things in Jersey? Have they kind of calmed down? Have they leveled off?
I broke up with my girlfriend in California, and I'm living with an elementary school teacher with 2 kids and a daughter. But I'm enjoying it, It's a nice change of pace. We just got a beautiful home on 5 acres. I'm building a studio in the basement, and life's good.
Nice, man. Nice. Yeah. So we're going to be talking a bit about the upcoming album. This is pretty much like a love letter to all the music that you grew up loving, eh?
Yeah, I mean, these albums are becoming fun. I just re-signed with A1, and they won an Origins Volume 3 after the next studio record, which I've already started writing songs for. But, it's become a really fun process because pretty much, it's much easier than doing a studio record where you have to write the material yourself. I'm basically just taking other people's material that influenced me as a kid and put my stamp on it.
And at this point in your career, is it for you, like you just mentioned, fun? I mean, it's got to be fun to be able to sit back and interpret these songs the way you want to interpret them, but at the same time revisit this music that you love.
Yeah, I mean, it brings back old memories of growing up in the Bronx, trying to figure out the guitar solos, from Jimmy Page and Eric Clapton. A lot of times I'd have to slow down the record, but that was vinyl.
Yeah.
But then again, vinyl's coming back now. So that's a little trick for guitar players who listen to stuff on vinyl. They can slow it down to hear the notes on the guitar solo.
The video for Space Truckin is a lot of fun. Yeah. I mean, I know I don't think you. I mean, how much input do you have in those videos, or do you just give the version and let the people have carte blanche, or do you have a lot to do with those ideas?
I had nothing to do with it. The record company just got a guy that's really talented, and they ran with it. And used a couple of Ace-isms in the video. I used it in the song while I was recording Space Truckin, and worked out great.
And where did you get the idea to add in the Space Ace Truckin?
I don't know. It just came out one day. While I was doing the vocal, it seemed appropriate.
Listen, to me, you've always been, you were always the coolest part of Kiss for me. Growing up, I was always attracted to the Spaceman. And what I've always liked about you is that you never stopped being a working musician. You've always had a steady output of music.
Last 10 years, yeah.
Yeah, you've been really, really prolific in terms of putting stuff out.
That's because I got sober 14 years ago, and that made me a lot more productive, because I was able to focus on my career.
Right.
Without being loaded.
Yeah, I'm 28 years.
God bless.
It's a whole different way of life, that's for sure.
Yeah. I wouldn't be here probably if I didn't get sober 14 years ago. I was going on down that downward spiral, but you know what I'm talking about. You've heard it a million times.
110%. So I guess the impression that you've left has been pretty much that you've been really busy, because in my mind, you've never stayed out of the public eye. You've always been putting stuff out.
Yeah. If I'm not recording, I'm touring. If I'm not touring, I'm doing autograph sessions. And in between those, I try to squeeze in vacations once in a while.
Can you tell me a bit about the original album that's coming out?
I've only written about 3 songs, and they're not finished. My studio's not going to be done for another month. Now that I'm on the East Coast, my engineer only lives an hour from me.
Right.
Alex Salzman, who worked with me extensively on this last record and played a lot of bass guitar as well. So it's going to be even easier, you know, Origins Volume 3 and the next studio record.
I guess there's a huge connection to the East Coast. Obviously, you know, being a New Yorker, being, you know, so much of your history is in this part of the world.
Growing up in the Bronx, you know, I experienced the seasons.
Yeah.
You know, sang in the church choir. My dad taught Sunday school. And then, you know, 11 years ago, I met this gal in California, and she talked me into moving to California. I was out there for 11 years. Finally, you know, things didn't work out. I'm glad to be back. It's nice to experience the seasons because my new home is completely covered with trees. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah. It looks like, yeah. It looks.
You know, we have 5 acres in a wooded area, and I can't wait to see the leaves change color because it's so beautiful here in the fall.
I mean, I'm looking in the back of your window, and I can see that it almost looks like it looks like Tony Soprano's backyard.
I don't know about that, but
you have Bruce Kulick on the record. What was it like to work with Bruce?
Well, we didn't actually work in the studio together. In fact, everybody except Lita emailed me their parts.
Right. But you had some communication, right?
Yeah, I mean, the beauty of working digitally with Pro Tools is you could just email a stereo mix and then they can put their part on top, email it back to me, and my engineer drops it into the multi-track, and boom, you got a song.
So in a way, it's kind of nice to be able to work this way and not have to all be in the same room. I mean, there's a magic that happens when you are in the same room, but it's got to be nice to be able to have all those possibilities and stay in one space, right?
I don't remember a lot of magic happening. Like when I used to record with Kiss, you know, sometimes, you know, invariably somebody would make a mistake or somebody would be out of tune, and we'd have to redo the take. Sometimes we do 20, 25 takes of a song. And by that time, you know, the song loses all its spontaneity. And we come back the next day, listen to it, and invariably we probably end up re-recording it again, fresh. But I like working the way I work, you know that old saying, too many chefs in the kitchen spoil the, yeah. So I pretty much work alone, me and my engineer, and then we basically record the song with a click track or, you know, a drum track that he programs. And then we bring in my drummer, Matt Starr, at the end, and he puts drums on and send it off to the mixer.
So you're still having a lot of fun.
But it's a lot of fun, yeah. I mean, the most fun is getting the reaction. I mean, 75% of the interviewers that I've done have told me they like this album better than Origins Volume 1. I just hope, you know, the fans feel the same way about it.
And Lita Ford, I mean, what a voice.
Well, Lita's like my sister. You know, a lot of people aren't aware of the fact that the Runaways opened up a few shows for Kiss in the 70s. So I got to meet them all way back then. And, you know, me and Lita stayed in touch. You know, in the last 5 years, we've done shows together where she's opened for me. You know, she's kind of like my sister. She comes over the house and spends the weekend. And, you know, we took 2 days on that vocal. I really played the role of the producer. I'm going, come on, Lita, you can hit that note, you know, and she really belts it out and does a great job on that vocal.
Yeah, she's
real proud of her for that.
She's an incredible singer. She really, really, really is. The album comes out September 18th. Ace, thanks so much for taking the time to chat, man. I'm glad you're back on the East Coast. I'm glad you're kind of back in the New York groove.
I'm about an hour away from the GW Bridge, so not too far.
Well, to me, you were always the coolest part of Kiss, and it's an absolute pleasure to chat with you today. Looking forward to hearing the new music as well, and continued success and continued sobriety, my friend.
Thank you. Same to you.
Thanks.